when we talk about the green belt, we do have to talk about planning and urban development. And it's my understanding that between the urban boundaries and the green belt, there is an area in there called, we'll call it the white belt, that could accommodate the growth in population at least till 2031, if not longer. So could you just explain that a little bit to our viewers?
Yeah, this is important because you've heard the Premier repeatedly say that the opening of the Greenbelt is absolutely necessary in order to meet our housing construction needs. Nothing could be further from the truth. Anyone who's looked at this in detail has concluded, and the data supports this from municipalities, from the province itself, that there's vast areas of land, both within existing urban boundaries. So, within the built designated area of the city boundary in places like Halton or Hamilton, but also in those white belt lands that surround the cities, more than enough land to accommodate growth out to the end of this century, actually. The area within existing urban boundaries within the Greater Golden Horseshoe, that's without adding any new ones, any new area, is the size of the city of Vancouver. So there's clearly lots of room to build more houses there. So there is actually no reason to expand urban boundaries. And I think that's something that people really need to understand.
But and I think we have to look at this in the context of planning and how we're going to accommodate all of the people that are coming to the Golden Horseshoe area. And so are you talking about development and there's enough room if we intensify, and if we intensify to a great degree, and isn't that the municipalities or the region's responsibility?
The numbers I was stating there about room for development, that's with the existing status quo. If we actually increase the intensification numbers in the direction where the growth plan was talking about, we'd even have more space. So that's with the existing low levels of achievement across the region around densification. So, clearly we want to go, we should be wanting to go in the other direction. So we're matching more what other countries in the Western world are doing. But no, that was with like our low level of achievement around densification in the Greater Golden Horseshoe. But yes, we do need to be going in that direction. And this package of legislation really should have addressed some of those core issues around how to build better inside of our existing cities. So issues like building 4, 5, 6-story apartments on main streets, with retail at the ground level, having that as of right. If you're a building owner, that's something they could have done. I live in a downtown neighborhood where up my street are beautiful old 10, 15 unit apartment buildings built in the, say, between 1900 and the late 1920s and 30s. You haven't been allowed to build a building like that in downtown Toronto since the 1950s. They're beautiful, they accommodate lots of people, close to transit, close to shopping, close to work. We need more of those, and we need to end the prohibitions that stop those kind of buildings from going to neighborhoods like mine throughout the region. The Premier's Housing Affordability Task Force was very clear on some of the mechanisms that need to be brought in to make that possible and to densify some of our existing cities and suburbs. The province has chosen not to take those recommendations, and in fact, to open the Greenbelt, which the Housing Task Force specifically said you shouldn't do, isn't necessary. So, this really is about enabling sprawl and, very little to do with actually achieving either housing supply that makes sense or doing it in a way that's actually affordable.